Hi, I'm Melanie and this is my kitchen. Over the past few years, I've had many requests from families and friends on how to do various things in the kitchen, such as canning, pickling, baking, all sorts of different things. So I figured, what the heck, I might as well give it a try. Today we're going to do canning dill pickles. When my son was little, he used to go through dill pickles by the gallon. So we decided to try our hand at making dills. Today we're going to be making garlicky dills and spicy garlicky dills. So your first steps, you want to make sure that you have all of your supplies. Number one is your sparkling wine. Today we're drinking a Okanagan Valley Geringer Brothers Sparkling. Some of the canning supplies that you're going to require are your jars of various sizes, your canning tongs. This little magnet thingy comes in handy for lifting your lids out of boiling hot water, funnel, and of course all of your snap lids. You also want a good sized canning pot. If you need a suggestion on where to buy one, Canadian Tire has a really good starter kit. And then a couple of various size pots for lids, brine, various items. Of course, your oven mitt. And then what you're going to be canning. So I tend to go through all of my recipes and lay out my ingredients that I'm going to require. So your dill, your various vinegars that you're going to be using, any spices, of course your garlic, wine of course, some bowls, gloves for when you're dealing with habanero peppers because you don't want to get that stuff on your skin. Here I have my cukes chilling in ice water. That way they'll be nice and crisp when they go into the jar and they won't over process. And then all of my cleaned lids. Your next step in the process is going to be make sure that you sterilize all of your jars. You can do this either by running them through your dishwasher on sanitize, or you can sterilize them in your canner. So these jars have been boiling away for about 13 minutes. So that time frame is based on 10 minutes is the average length, plus an extra minute for every 1,000 feet that you're above sea level. So you want to do this very, very carefully using a glove. We're going to pull one jar out and dump all of the hot water out, being very, very careful not to spill it down the tongs and onto your hand. And then we're going to just set these aside. So I'm going to repeat this process for the remaining 5 jars that are in the canner, and then I'm going to put in a new set of jars to sterilize. While your jars are sterilizing, you're going to want to prep all of your ingredients that are going to be placed into your jars. So first I'm going to prep all of my garlic. Make sure you're using a very sharp knife, holding it away from you. Make sure to compost. All of the garlic that I'm using today was locally grown in Alberta. So you want to get all of your outer skins off and separate each of your cloves, and we're going to put them into a gigantic bowl. Now that we have all the garlic cloves separated, we're going to fit a smaller bowl on top of this big stainless bowl, and then we're going to lift it up and we're going to shake it as hard as we can. And theoretically what this is supposed to do is separate the skins from the cloves.
Shake, shake, Sonora, shake your body line.
All right. Let's see. Okay, well, it looks like there's a bunch of cloves that no longer have skin on them. But there's still a fair few that are left. So what we'll do is we'll pick through here. We'll get the ones that don't really have skin left on them. So now we have all of our jars sanitized, all of our garlic cloves peeled. I have cut off the tops of the dill weed, and I have chopped up all of the habanero peppers. So mind you, there's a lot of peppers here. I'm probably not going to use them all because I'm only going to use them in about 5 or 6 jars. I also have the corresponding teaspoon for the peppercorns and half a teaspoon for the red pepper flakes. These red pepper flakes I will put into the jars that I don't put habaneros in. It puts a very mild spice. Alternately, instead of using habaneros, you could use jalapenos. However, I find The level of heat with jalapenos very inconsistent. So in addition to chopping and measuring everything out, I have created 2 different brines. One with white vinegar. So this one consists of 6 cups of white vinegar, 6 cups of water, and 6 tablespoons of pickling salt. This one is 6 cups of apple cider vinegar, 6 cups of water, and 6 tablespoons of pickling salt, as well as in the small pot, I have my lids on a slow simmer to moisten up the seals. So now we're gonna just start filling our jars. I'm gonna start with a couple cloves of garlic in each. As you can see, there is some major inconsistencies with the size of cloves. So you're just gonna kind of wanna eyeball it. So typically you'd put 4 to 5 cloves per, but if you have a few bigger ones, you might wanna decrease that a bit. So now we're ready to start stuffing our jars with pickles or with cucumbers. So what you want to keep in mind is that they are in a variety of sizes and you're trying to fill the optimum space. So typically what I'll do is I'll try and stuff one big one on its side and then surround it by various shapes and sizes, keeping in mind that you'll be able to stuff the top with little pickles. If you see any big gaps, just want to try and give it a little shake. Maybe take one out, put a different size in. Just like that. We'll repeat the process with the rest of the jars. Now that we have all of our jars full of cukes, for the record, I ran out of cucumbers, so I'm gonna have to go back and buy some more tomorrow because it's too late now and the store's closed. Now we're gonna fill them up with our brine. So you're gonna insert your funnel and then pour your brine in. About ½ inch from the top. So we'll top that one up just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get some more brine. Now that we filled all of our jars, we're gonna wipe the surface of each rim, and then we're gonna use our little magnet thingy and use it to pull up one of the lids. So you don't want to touch the inside of the lid because that's where bacteria can come in. And then you just wanna put on your lid hand tight. So you don't wanna over tighten it. We're just gonna go through, do our first batch that are going to be ready to can, to process. If If your water has boiled down in your pot of seals, don't worry about it. Just grab the ones from the bottom, and as the ones in the top submerge back into the water, they'll re-soften. So we have all of our jars with our seals on and our lids. We've taken 6 of our 1 liter jars and put them into the canner. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower them into the hot boiling water, being careful not to splash yourself. You want at least ½ inch of water above the top of the jars. You're gonna bring your heat back up, put the lid on, and we're gonna process them for 10 minutes. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you are canning with a gas stove, just like our Frigidaire Gallery Edition, you want to make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. So our timer's just gone off. So we are going to take these jars out. So we're going to use the jar tongs. So these just slip right underneath the lid here. And just tilt it a bit to get all of the water off the top. Now if you look at the difference between the color of a processed jar and an unprocessed jar, it's quite the difference. So we're just going to move these over here so we keep them separate. Okay, so that's the first 6 jars. We're going to continue processing. We're going to put 6 more in here. Bring our little rack up. So you want to make sure that you put these in counterweighted, otherwise it tends to fall off the sides. And then we're going to take the 2 handles, plunge this one back down into the water, lid back on, set the timer for 10 minutes, turn the heat back up a little bit, and now we wait again. So here's the finished product. We got 19 jars out of 20 pounds of cucumbers. So it's just a little bit over a pound per jar. So my calculations were a little off because I still have 2, 4, 6, 7 jars that have filling but no cucumbers. So tomorrow I'll finish those up on my own time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to watch more videos, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for reminders, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Mel's Kitchen Request. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.